Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the world of English with Sakshi Khanna. As we decided yesterday that we will start a new topic today, that is reading comprehension passage, which is the first section of your competitive level exam. Whatever the standard of your competitive level exam, but you need to go through this task. That is compulsory, that is mandatory for you. Today, in the world of competitive level exam, it is purely MCQ based culture they follow. The system follows MCQ based culture, and it is totally different. As I told you yesterday in my lecture, that in comprehension passage you are supposed to write some sentences as well, but in some sort of system, some sort of examination, they ask the question based on the multiple choices. So we will be doing both the things today: how to deal with the passage, how to treat the passage, how to start, how to close the passage, what we need to cover in the passage, what we need to cover in the options. Everything we will do today. So be very concentrative. It's really very important part of the lecture. So get your paper and pen and let's start it. Okay, guys, before I move ahead, reading comprehension is the ability to process the text. As you are given a task, what you need to do, you need to process the task. What is the task about? What we need to do? We need to give the answers in the multiple choice based structure, or in the sentence form, or in the tick mark option. What is exactly? So for that you need to process the text, understand its meaning, and to integrate with what the reader already knows. Some of the information you already know about the things, okay, some of information they have given already in the passage, so you need to combine. Sometime you need to avoid your own information. In competitive scenario, you need to avoid your personal information. You are not supposed to use what you have exactly done regarding this particular topic, what you know, nothing to concern. Just avoid the information. Your answer should be based on the information which you are receiving in the passage only. So ability to comprehend text is influenced by reader's skills. I'm using here word skill. Skill and art. Yes, indeed, true statement. It's an art, and their ability to process information. Now, how you process the information? For example, some students are going with the option A, and 20% students are going with the option C, and 20% students are right, 80% are wrong. It is purely depend on the individual skills what you people are using. But there are many reading strategies. So how to improve the skills, that we are doing today. There are different strategies to improve reading comprehension and inferences, including improving one's vocabulary. Yes, we will improve the vocabulary as well. Critical text analysis. Critical text analysis means you will think both the side, this, that, both the side with the inferences, then you will go to the correct option. Guys, let's move with the technical portion of strategies. First of all, reading comprehension in the center, and you can see the four circles around that. Number first is definition. Definition, already I said you, reading comprehension is the ability to process text, understand its meaning, and to integrate with what the reader already knows. Second is Barrett's taxonomy of reading comprehension. Barrett technology we will do in this session. 3 levels of comprehension we will do, and the questioning technique to develop comprehension. Questioning technique, what type of technique we are using to deal with the question, that also we will do in today's session. Have you heard about Durkheim? Durkheim said in 1993 about the comprehension, when it was followed by in every examination pattern of language, every sort of language, whether we talk about Hindi, Marathi, Punjabi, you will see the text passage in every paper. It was followed in that, and he said it's an essence of reading. It is a complex thinking process that requires the reader to construct meaning from the text. Means you need to read the text, process it, take out the meaning in your hand, and then move with the questions. Reading comprehension is the ability to read text, process it, and understand its meaning, and individual ability to comprehend text is influenced by their traits and skills. You need to develop some traits and skills, as I said you already, one of which is the ability to make inferences. Inferences reading comprehension is the act of understanding what you are reading. Reading comprehension is an intentional, active, interactive process that occurs before, during, and after a person reads a particular piece of writing. Just focus over the last three lines. Reading comprehension is an intentional, means purposely we do, active with active mind, interactive process, both the way, that occurs before, during, and after a person reads a particular piece of writing. You need to think before, as you read the title, afterwards, during, reading, by reading, and by reading and then particular piece of writing, you will understand at the end something different, while reading different, and when you will start different. Barrett taxonomy of comprehension skill, very important when you are dealing with MCQ based culture or the competitive standard of English paper. So you need to go through the Barrett taxonomy once in a while, then you will realize what is the difference between the comprehension passage which you are doing in your NCRT based papers or what you are doing in your competitive English examination. So look at the pyramid. There are 5 titles: appreciation, evaluation, inferential comprehension, recognition, literal comprehension. We will start from the down. Literal comprehension, at the word suggest, literal comprehension means literally what you are getting you will understand. You will label it, you will list it, name it, relate it, recall it, repeat it, and state. Means passage should be in your hand. While reading the passage, you will underline, label it, note down, mark it, encircle it, whatever you are getting literally. Okay? Moving up, recognition. Recognition, you will classify. You will start classifying the facts, regroup them, rearrange them, assemble them, collect them, categorize them. Okay? How you will do? For that you need to do the literal comprehension, means you need to underline, you note down and circle the things, and in the second level of recognition you will arrange them, assemble them, collect them, categorize them according to your need. Now inferential comprehension, predict, infer, guess. When we start guessing, not A option, B, not B, the C, prediction. Fourth level, evaluation. When you analyze, appraise, evaluate, justify, reason it, criticize, judge yourself. How you will judge? Yes, first you need to process the whole passage. And next is the appreciation. Critique, appraise, comment, and appreciate what is the passage about. Okay, so it is all about the passage, how you will deal first step, second step, third, fourth, and fifth. At the fifth level, you will get an idea, the theme in your hand, and then you will move to the question side. Without any further delay, we are moving ahead. Now 3 levels of comprehensions on the screen. Number 1 is literal, interpretative, applied. We will be starting with literal first. What is that? So please, that is why I am telling you, be very much concentrative today, because it's a technical terminology. I am telling you of comprehension passage, which is really very important part of every competitive level exam. Literal level. So the literal level focuses on reading the passage, hearing the words, or viewing the images. It involves identifying the important and essential information. With guidance, students can distinguish between the important and less important ideas. For example, I am giving you one list. And I tell you, essential services, you keep it aside, and unessential services, you encircle. For that, you need to go it very deeply. You need to read the list very deeply, then only you can differentiate. Yes, in the same way, literally, whatever you are getting while reading, you need to process it. So, facts and details, role learning and memorization, surface understanding only. Surface understanding means what you are getting in the whole passage. You are not supposed to read and understand each and every word. Not at all. Otherwise, you will waste your time. Surface understanding and rote learning and memorization really not required here. So, question, what did the author say? Example, when did Henry family go on? Now, where did Henry family go on? So, question, what? What did means here you need to put the reason. What did the author say? Something fact based. Some statement you need to put. This question, the first word of the question is giving you indication. In this way, we will be dealing with that. Okay, next we are having second level, interpretive level. The interpretive level, at the interpreted level, the focus shifts to reading between the lines. Between the lines, it's a proverb. Means between the lines, like a CID inspector. You need to read between the lines what is not on the surface. Only you need to go to the deep core of the meaning. Okay, at what is implied by the material under study. It requires students to combine pieces of information in order to make inferences about the author's intent and messages. So, in this interpretive level, what you need to do, you need to read the passage, the surface reading you have done. Okay, now you will go to the deep of the facts which you have underlined. So, drawing inferences, trapping into prior knowledge or experience, attaching new learning to old information. Suppose in first level of reading, you got some information, very the surface reading information, not the clear statement. And the second level, when you were screening the passage, you got some detail of that particular. Now underline, now collect it, attach it, making logical leaps and educated guesses, reading between the lines to determine what is meant by what is stated. Means what has been written, does it give the same meaning? Does it give the same sense or something behind that? You need to be like a CID inspector. That is why it is called a skill. Question, just look at the example. What was meant by what was said? What was said? What was meant by what was said? So such type of confusing question you are dealing, so you can imagine the standard of your reading. Next we have the applied level. The applied level, understanding at the literal and interpretive levels are combined here. Your understanding and what you have read between the line, both the information will be combined here, reorganized, restructured at the applied level. Means now you are ready to make your own opinion, you are ready to deal with the questions. Okay, so draw new insights and develop fresh ideas. Critical reading and analysis, analyzing, synthesizing, applying, these are the technique which you have done already. You are doing analyze when you see how the things going on and how it has been asked, how to give the answer. So question, just see here, for example, how would the author's message apply to other situations given what you memorized and understood at the other two level? If Henry's friend Tom was the one playing the guitar, do you think Henry would have rolled his eyes? Why or why not? Now see how confusing. So I'm telling you the confusing level of the passage which you will be dealing in your competitive level exam. I am not making you afraid. I am not pursuing you to get afraid. I am just telling you the true sides of the true side of the comprehension passage. Consider it's just a common passage. It is very confusing, tricky term which you need to solve with the skill only. Very important three techniques of reading comprehension. Reading beyond the lines. What has not been given, you need to think to that level. Reading between the lines. What has been given, you need to find out the facts by combining them. Now, reading the lines, that is surface reading. Surface reading, first level. Second level, scanning of the text. And reading beyond the lines, what has not been put, you need to find out that as well. On the screen, one more technique is there of the questioning now. Now, the questioning techniques to develop comprehension. 6 blocks are there. Closed questions, open questions, yes, no questions, retelling questions, wait time, positive reinforcements. Now, closed questions, open questions, I will explain you what are these terms. Don't get confused. Closed question means very limited answers. Open questions, very vast detail need to be put. Simple yes or no. Retelling questions, in the same way you need to repeat the things what has been asked only. So we will be doing the same in today's session. So be connected. Starting with the closed questions. Closed questions are the kind of questions that require a short response, very limited answers that can be found in the text. For example, what happened first in the story, or what is a reptile? Many comprehension tests use closed questions, very limited, and readers need to know how to find the information in the book with which to answer the questions. Means when you are not supposed to write very long answers, they are known as closed answers in limited, just in 3 or 4 words, maybe the given limit. Okay, you need to be very precise. That is known as closed questions. Okay, open questions. Open questions require more in-depth answer. I told you very precise answer in closed questions, but very much detail. There is no limit of answering the open questions. Often the answer is not explicitly stated in the text. It is not given in the text. You need to find out. Some open questions require the reader to use her or his own ideas as well. Some your own opinions plus the information add on in the book to draw a conclusion about the given topic. Other open questions require the reader to voice an opinion. You need to make your own opinion here as well. Still, others may require the reader to apply what she or he has read to a different situation. Open questions can often begin with words such as why, how, explain, and what if. Means you need to put the reasons based, detailed, descriptive answers. Example of open questions are, look at the screen. How would you describe the settling of the story? How are reptiles different from amphibians? Or what would happen if the boy got his wish? Means no limit at all. If the boy got his wish done, no limitation. To give the answer, endless. Do you think the boy will ever get his wish? Okay, so I have explained you closed question, open questions. Okay, in the same way you need to give the answer according to that. Yes or no questions are always closed question because they have great limitations. They have great limitations means you can't go beyond the limitation. You will get your marks to be deducted then. Effectively cut off the discussion by setting up the child to answer with a yes or no. Very simple. Examples of this type of questions. Just see, did you like the story? Very simple. Yes. Is a snake a reptile? Yes, of course, it's a reptile. There is no question ahead. So, if yes or no questions are asked, they should always be followed up with a clarification question such as why. Now, did you like the story? If yes, then also give reason. If no, then also you need to give the Reason. How do you know? The tutor should look for ways to avoid yes or no questions and try to extend the discussion with different types of questions, such as how do you feel about this story? Now, when you talk about the feeling, means you need to write in descriptive manner. Your answer will be in detail. So it is not just yes or no questions only, means some clarification has been asked, evidence has been asked in such type of question. Our fourth type of questions is retelling questions. Retelling questions have the child retell stories she or he has read. A prompt that gets the retelling started could be, tell me what happened in the story, means the same we need to repeat in our own way. If the child needs more prompting, other prompts could be, what was this story about? Who was in the story? Sometimes a child may stop during the retelling. Prompt with questions such as, then what happened? Or what did character do then? When having the child retell non-fiction books, ask her or him to tell what the book was about, the examples, and to tell some facts she or he has learned. Now, retelling question that you must have done in your schooling, like 8th, 9th classes, okay, when you are writing very long answers, means what has been asked or what has been told in the passage, you need to repeat the same in your own word. This is also another type of questioning. Now look at the screen comprehension passage on the page. I have shown you just to show that this type of format you will be getting in your paper, whatever the level of the exam, but you will be dealing such type of passage. The length of the passage is depend upon the level of the paper. Okay, 4 questions with 4 options in the sense like this. Okay, and you need to go with the right choice. As today we are dealing with the reading comprehension, so I just want to mention this quotation in the session. Just read it carefully. Reading makes a full man. A full man needs just reading. Conference, a ready man. Conference means when you also speak and you listen as well. And when you write, an exact man. So choice is yours. That is why I told you on the very first day of my session that you need to write each and everything what I am telling you, what you see on the screen, because writing will make you an exact man, the required man of the globe. Now come to the objective. What are the objectives of reading? So reading, the objective, first objective, to evaluate the ability to read and understand the text, to understand the text and answer the factual and inferential questions based on the text, to comprehend the key points, to comprehend author's view, opinion, perspectives, to evaluate the vocabulary comprehension power. Now, first, to evaluate the ability to read, you need to understand what has been put in the passage. You need to take out the theme of the passage. To understand the text and answer the factual and inferential based on the text, fact based answers you need to give. To comprehend the key points which you have underlined, you have noted down, or you have encircled, you need to comprehend. You have to comprehend, understand. To comprehend author's view, how authors are talking, how authors are speaking in the passage. Don't feel that how you are speaking or you are taking the situation. According to his mindset, you need to do the same. To evaluate the vocabulary comprehension power. Now I tell you vocabulary comprehension power, what is the importance? The importance of the vocabulary here, for example, state, there are 29 states, okay, union territories combined as well. So state of my mind is not good today to take up the class. Both the sentences have different meanings, but with one word I have used there are 29 states in India, okay, but the state of my mind is different. according to the context, the word has changed its meaning. So that is why I told you to evaluate the vocabulary comprehension power. This power you should develop in your mind, that according to the context you need to answer the meaning. Okay, there is no meaning, you need to go to the just situational context of the sentence. Tips and techniques in a very precise manner, step by step. Just look at very fast. Reading comprehension is the ability to read text, process it, understand its meaning. And ability to comprehend text is influenced by their traits and skill. Every time I am using the same sentence. Why? Because you should understand what is reading comprehension and how it is different to the normal passage which we are having in our examination. So what you need for that? Proficient reading depends on the ability to recognize words quickly and effortlessly. Effortlessly, just focus over the word. Effortlessly. No efforts are required. Your mind should be very active, very smart. Just with less efforts, you will give the right answer. So, ability of an individual to comprehend text depends upon three things. Three things how you will develop the ability. Number one, prior knowledge about the subject. Do you have the knowledge of English? Do you know how to read the sentence? How to comprehend the sentence? If there is comma, if there is semicolon, what does it mean? Second, well developed language. Do you have good understanding? Number third, the ability to make inferences. Inferences to Francis. Okay, do you have the sense how to associate, relocate, relate the things, correlate the things, the incident, the facts together? So these are the things you need to develop in that. Types of reading comprehension: unseen passage, prose, poem, newspaper cutting, news, scientific reports, according to age group, descriptive passage, interactive passage, novel, story, excerpt, etc. Excerpt, again the extract of some novel or some big stories. Now, sub skills, types of reading comprehension. First is skimming. Skimming is known as the surface reading. Scanning, reading from the core. Intensive reading, extensive reading, that you people understand. And reading for the pleasure. Reading for the pleasure, that is newspaper reading. And if you are very good in reading, then only you can enjoy. Otherwise, you will feel bored. So, we need to focus over skimming, scanning, intensive and intensive reading. Very fast, I do this for you. You people all known to that. But still, it's my duty to tell you once again to recap the things. Reading comprehension technique, the first very important skill we need to develop, that is known as skimming. Skimming is used to quickly identify the main ideas of a text. It is quickly looking through text to get an idea of what the text concerns. Used when reading magazines, newspapers, article. Skimming is a process of speed reading, means surface reading you can also say to that. That involves visually searching the sentences of a page for clues to meaning. Come to the scanning now. Scanning is reading a text quickly in order to find some specific information. For example, figures or names. This is the time when you start underlining or encircling the basic facts of the passage. It can be contrasted with skimming, which is reading quickly to get a general idea of meaning. For example, a learner taking a reading test needs to scan a text on population rates quickly to find out if a series of statements about the population figures are true or false. Scanning is the process where one actively looks for information using a mind map formed from skimming. Skimming will make a ground for your next level, and scanning will make the pillars on the ground zero. You can say that skimming is the ground zero reading section. Continuing with the same, intensive reading is on the screen, guys. It involves learners reading in detail with specific learning aims and tasks. It can be compared with extensive reading, which involves learners reading text for enjoyment and to develop general reading skills. For example, the learners read a short text and put events from it into chronological order. Means in the sequence of the chronological order depend upon the incident happen time to time in that particular text. The word intensive is showing you like ICU intensive care unit, means there you will get all the services in detail, okay, all the follow up checkups with the proper way, with doctor's help, under the supervision of the physicians, not under just nurses. So this is the difference between intensive reading. Coming to extensive reading, it involves learners reading text for enjoyment only and to develop journal reading skills. It can be compared with intensive reading, which means reading in detail with specific learning aims and tasks. A teacher reads a short story with learners but doesn't set them any task except to read and listen. When there is no task given to the readers, it is known as just extensive reading for the pleasure. Critical reading is a form of language analysis that doesn't take the given text at face value. Face value means what it looks, but involves a deeper examination. You know that virus COVID-19 symptoms are hidden, like the cheater virus. Okay, they have considered at the cheater virus, means don't showing the symptoms but virus is in the body. So it is in the same way you can take it, that critical reading is a form of language analysis that doesn't take the given text at face value but involves a deeper examination of the claims put forth as well as the supporting points and possible counter arguments. Your opinion means both the way you will go. Okay, here you will use your skill of reading between the lines, beyond the lines. I have given you many techniques. Now, how to proceed in that? Just look at that. Tips and techniques to perform better in reading comprehension passage. When you begin to read the passage, follow these strategies. We read paragraph for two purposes. Understand that. First, to develop comprehension about the text, means you need to understand. It happens when we have command over the words which are used in the paragraph. Second, for drawing inferential meaning from the text. So, you need to follow all the strategies which we have done. Okay, the reading strategies. Now we are going with the questions as well in this session. So be patient here. Today the lecture will go little long. Follow the step. Read the text thoroughly. Skimming. Skimming should be done properly. Have a look on title of the passage. If the title has been given, sometime they give the title as well, but not all the time. So if it has been given, wonderful. Not given, you need to find out. Continuing with that, just look at the screen. Find out or underline the fact mentioned in the text. Okay, for example, what you will underline? Simple, the name, the characters, the place mentioned in the text, day and date mentioned in the text. Simple question like who was the king? When did it happen? How many characters in the story? These are known as factual questions, means you need to put the fact-based answers only. You can't give here their stories. You can't write. So reader should try to extract the meaning of underlined words and phrases as well. And last we have here, reader should reread the difficult paragraph. And if you are having some difficulty with the text, means text of very high frequency word they have used, then you can read it twice or thrice. No harm in that. Points to ponder. Try to understand the meaning of text. Do not stuck or worry if you do not know the meaning of a word mentioned in the text. Simple solution of this problem is to reread the previous sentence and the next sentence. Okay, now when you are stuck up with the difficult word, you don't know the meaning. What is the strategy to follow? The simple solution I have given you here. Just reread the previous sentence and the next sentence. You will comprehend the context of that difficult word and you will able to move ahead. This will give you an insight about the meaning of the word, why it has been used and in what context it has been used. Try to find out the answer of inferential questions which demands the reader to look beyond the text. How to look beyond the text means some sentences have been written, some text has been given, you need to read beyond the text. Not, we are not understanding. You simply say to me, so why do you think so? How did incident take place? Given statement, why or why not? Both the way. To answer these type of questions, readers should look into the mentioned text as well, correlate it into real life situation. For example, something has been asked when you are getting confused both the ways. Here also B option also, C option also. C is going with the normal situation and B is going with the information they have discussed. So this is known as reading beyond the text. When you need to relate, you need to correlate the facts given text with your own experiences. Readers should give the answer even beyond the text according to the question. You need to develop that skill. Read the questions and look out for the answers from the text. Question itself comprises of answers. So read the questions properly. Every question will indicate you the right clue, the right option. That is why focus on reading the complete question, not like that why it happened. No. Read the complete question till the question mark. If you are facing difficulty to find out answer of the complex question, then passage demands you to reread once as an alert reader to increase comprehension level of the text. When you are not getting the option in the given section A, B, C, D and you are looking for some other, no, you can't go beyond the box. You can't go out of the box actually, but you have to read beyond the text. But you can't go out of the box. You need to give the answer from the given options only. When you are not doing the same, you are going for the incorrect option. That is why when you face such type of difficulty, go and read the passage once again. It indicates that your comprehension level of the text still demand one more session of the reading. Slowly and gradually you should increase vocabulary power to comprehend a written paragraph. Slowly, gradually, when you will be practicing the same, you will start comprehending written vocabulary also, that you feel the difficult words. You will be using that difficult words also without any problem. Passage comprehension demands you to have sound knowledge of basic grammar, word power, and technique to write answer properly and accurately. Questions can also be related to grammar because written passage may focus single item of grammar in the passage. For example, if the passage consists of past indefinite, then grammar question will be related to past indefinite tense. Very simple clue. In the options, I tell you that what they want to say that you need to well versed in the grammar. For example, if the question has been asked in future, or maybe in present form, you need to give the answer in present form only, otherwise your marks will be deducted. And in your schooling, it is going on. Already they are deducting your marks. Generally, if we talk about the comprehension passage, we don't feel much of difficulty, but sometimes it happens because it's a competitive level of world. So we need to be very much cautious about our reading comprehension task. When the questions answers can be found easily from the passage, but one or two questions demands rereading of the paragraph sentences for more than one time. When skimming, scanning, intensive reading not sufficient for your correct answer, then you need to follow this technique which I am telling you now. Generally, reader face the difficulty to find the answer of vocabulary related questions. When you will be stuck up with the things, it will be related with the difficult word. When you are not getting the answer of some meaning, you are stuck up with that, then only this problem will rise. For example, some synonyms, antonyms, homophones, inferential meanings problems will be solved if the reader practices reading comprehension passage regularly to have command on vocabulary. So you need to make and target in your life today onwards that one passage you will be doing on daily basis. Practice makes the man. Practice makes the man. So the remedy is here. I'm telling you the practice only. The only remedy to reach at the level of perfection. We are not the perfect and nobody is demanding the perfect work because we can't be the perfect. But yes, we are trying. We should try to present our work in a perfect way. So develop a habit of doing practice on regular interval. For example, writing long essay, long letters, long paragraphs. It's a very difficult task for you. Why it is difficult? Because you are not practicing. You simply, when your exams come, then only you just flip your pages of the grammar of just looking or surface reading of 2-3 essay and 2-3 letters, and in question paper letters and essay come out of the box and you don't perform the task properly. Please leave this habit. Develop a habit of doing practice on a regular interval. Always keep one thing in your mind. Yes, I can. Yes, you can. Yes, we can. It is for me as well. Yes, we can perform better. Let us start today. Let us practice. Enjoy the power of now. Now only. Everything is now. Nothing tomorrow. We don't know what tomorrow is bringing for us. So what is today? That is our possession. So make useful it. Okay guys, finishing off today because it's a very detailed lecture. We can't finish it in just one session. Today we have just taken the overview of what is comprehension, what type of comprehensions reading, what type of the level of the questions, closed questions, open questions. Okay, what are the basic strategies at the ground level. Tomorrow we will be dealing the different way of the passage which we get in the competitive level exams of English only, not of the NCERT paper, not ICSE or CBSE or different board, just only for example the NDA, okay, that SAT paper, railway, clerical jobs, bank PO, IAS, PCS, such type of IELTS exams. So different type of competitive level examination, different type of passage. So tomorrow we will start with the same, how to deal with the passage when we are dealing with the competitive standard of English. Thank you so much. Stay protected, stay safe. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.